Here we go. Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I thought I would bring you out here with me this evening while I get chores done. Now I know it is very unusual to see me wearing blue jeans, especially in the summer, but I was running around Fort Smith today, and this morning when I got up I just threw on a pair of shorts and this shirt that I have on. I didn't want to have to change and all that stuff, so I just threw some jeans on because the shorts I had on weren't really like, they were at-home shorts, I'll put it that way. But I'm kind of regretting at this moment not putting my shorts back on when I got home, because I hear you ducks, because it is toasty and I'm going to be pouring sweat here in a minute. So I was looking at the ducks as I was watering them, and that one right there that just flapped its wings, on the back of its tail there's what's called a drake feather. It is, I don't know if you can see it right there, on top of the tail there's a feather that curls up. You see that little curly Q? That's a drake feather. And that means we got a boy. Well, hello there, mister. So I noticed just now when I was watering my ducks that one of them is a boy. Oh, you ready for your treats, baby? Here you go. Here, Amos. So I've had a lot of people asking me, oh, you dropped it, girl. Oh, Amos got it. Nope. Oh, here, baby. So I've had a lot of people asking me if we've seen the wolves lately. I think I shared recently, actually now that I think about it, I don't know if I shared this in a video or not. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But if I did, I'll just share it again. So I feed the chickens in these black rubber pans because they're easy to clean, they're super durable and all that. But there's usually a little bit of scraps left in the pan. I try not to put too much in there because I don't want anything wasted. But there's usually a little bit left. Well, every night the raccoons come and help themselves to that. But I noticed about a week or so ago that the pan was definitely clean, or the pans were definitely clean, but cleaner than normal. And I thought to myself, I don't think this is the raccoons doing this. There's something else. So I set up a camera. And I was right. So it seems that every night or every morning, one of the wolf hybrids that was essentially let loose upon the mountains here has been coming up and eating the leftover scraps that the chickens didn't eat. Sometimes it runs off raccoons, or sometimes it has a run-in with an especially feisty one. I don't know if you know this, but raccoons are not very nice creatures. I've seen them attack all sorts of animals on camera over the years. Now, if you remember the story about these wolves, then you know a man in a valley north of us was raising them and just decided he didn't want to deal with them anymore and got rid of them by releasing them into the mountains. He just let them go. Stopped feeding them. He already wasn't taking good care of them because they had killed and ate one of their own, as you may recall. So these creatures were already semi-starving. But seeing these photos and videos that I've caught of this one that comes around all the time, actually came out mid-afternoon yesterday. We saw it and tried to get it, but it was too quick. Seeing how wretchedly skinny it is, it makes me even madder at that guy for doing that. So I got some more of these lights, these solar lights. Now I've been using these solar lights for years. I have some that I actually bought our first year in Alabama and brought one of them with us, and it still works. And we lived there for 7 years. Inexpensive, comes in like an 8-pack or something like that. But they're solar charged, and they don't need a ton of light to charge, because I've got these in very wooded areas along the driveway. And they fully charge, they're motion activated, and they have different settings, like where it comes on as soon as it's dark and stays on, kind of a medium light, where it comes on a low light as soon as it's dark, and then when there's movement, it gets brighter, or where it stays off unless there's movement, and then it comes on very bright. That's the setting that I like. And I bought a bunch more of these things to put kind of all over the place. And I probably got the wrong shoes to be trying to do this one. But I want to put one up here. So I decided to put out a whole bunch more of these lights, and I've got a few more to go, because I want to be able to see. You know, I've had some people ask me, are you still walking the dogs in the dark early in the morning? And yeah, I'm still walking the dogs. I get up long before the sun comes up. I take the dogs out for a walk, come back in the house, have my morning coffee. I read my Bible, do all that stuff, and then as the sun is coming up, I come out and I do chores. Chickens, ducks, goats, all that stuff. And in the process of doing my morning chores, I pull the SD cards from the trail cameras that I have strategically placed around the property. And this morning, I did that, went in the house, checked the SD cards, and noticed, yes, the wolf was back last night. We've also got, like I mentioned, a family of raccoons. Oh, and there's a one-eyed fox that's been showing up quite a bit too. A young one, little bitty thing. But I noticed that one particular wolf dog who shows up all the time, I think it must be holed up somewhere near here, came as usual. This time it came around 3-something in the morning. But then I went to the very last clips and I realized, that wolf was out here while I was walking the dogs right over there. Isn't that something? Now, I had ordered lights a few days ago and they came in. I've had them sitting outside in the sun for 2 days charging before I hung them up and turned them on and everything. But with the realization that there was a wolf right over here, wolf hybrid, I thought, we'll add a little more lighting down here around the driveway too, because most of my lighting goes from the house down to the road and around the paths where I usually walk. But I didn't really have any lighting around this way. And this is where the animals have been coming from. But with that, it is time to get the cats loaded up for the night, get them put up to keep them safe from the things that would like to eat them. And you can't really tell because the camera always adjusts, but it's actually getting really dark. The sun is well past the western mountain, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've got 2 more lights to hang real quick. Thanks for joining me here again at the homestead. I'm Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.